All right, let's get this party started. Now, I don't think there are currently any viewers watching this, but that's all right because I'm still practicing. Still getting used to this whole live streaming thing. But I am recording, so those that want to catch this stream later on can certainly do so. Meant to get started a little bit earlier today, and but ran into an issue. This is my first time streaming to Twitch, and turns out that you're supposed to uh, specify a game that you're streaming. Uh, I am not. I'm not streaming a game, but I had to pick something. So apparently, right now I'm streaming Axie Infinity. It seems only fitting, but figured give it a little bit of time, see if anybody wants to show up and join me on this little Friday live stream. So far, it's just me. So, a couple of fun things that I'll call attention to that has happened between the last live stream, last Friday, and now. And one of which is now I have a fancy little template, whereas before it was just a sort of a drag and drop collage of shit that I was figuring out on the fly. And now I've got some branding that I can show that I'm pretty happy with how it turned out for being a quick project. So this is starting to come together, and hopefully as time goes by and I get better at this live streaming thing, I'll start to see a little bit of an audience join with me on the Friday fun days. But if you're just joining, I'm Rex, and I am your correspondent on the Formula EVM 2022 Worldwide Web3 Championships. It's changed a little bit since the last live stream. It's coming together a little bit more. I just recently finished up this logo, which I think it turns out pretty nice, and elaborated on the brand subtitle now being, rather than just the World Championships, it's a little play on words. It is now the Worldwide Web3 Championships, and I'll get into what that means here in just a little bit. So yeah, making some progress here, slowly but surely. I figure we'll go ahead and get started by taking a look at the markets. It is overall a pretty green day, which not bad for a Friday. Good way to end the week. Nothing's up significantly, at least none of the the top 100 coins look like we've got a less than 1% here and there in the last hour, couple of percent. Polkadot's doing pretty well today. Up 6%, something I think is going to do really well, but I think is currently underperforming. Bitcoin, of course, the king coin, is up about 1% today, or about 4% over the last 7 days. Although, to be fair, that 4% really only came in the last 2 days. So markets are still trying to figure out what they're going to do. I wouldn't place any bets that they're going to go one way or the other. Right now, I'm just waiting and seeing. But there's still fun to be had in these markets, and there's still great opportunities. And so yeah, we got Polygon up 3% today, 13% over the last week. The one that I'm really getting pretty jazzed about here is Phantom, which is actually down 1.5% today. I thought this morning, I think it was hovering around like $3.04, which is still a good buy, if you ask me. Up 13% on the week. And I think of all of my Twitter trolling, I find there's more buzz about Phantom right now than pretty much any other L1. Polygon has a lot going for it, but for whatever reason, there's a huge grassroots uh, following building around Phantom, and I think that there's a lot of really cool things that are being built on it right now. A lot of amazing DeFi projects, which I'm starting to look into pretty heavily. Um, and I think the announcement from Daniele Sesta of Frog Nation, the creator of Time Wonderland and Popsicle Finance, and a few others, he's been talking about launching a project on Phantom here soon, as well as Andre Cronje. So there's a lot of new eyeballs on there. So I think over the course of 2022, it's going to do fairly well. I think it's a safe bet. Whether it, you know, 5x's, 10x's, 100x's, that remains to be seen. But yeah, that's just sort of a good general overlook or overview of the markets right now. Nothing face melting, but overall, I'll take a green day, even if it's a percent here and there. So let me hop back over and see if I've got anybody joining us yet. I'm simultaneously live streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and to Float. But yeah, still just me. Totally fine. I don't mind the practice. So next up, I'll give you a quick rundown of what my plan is for this stream. So I want to touch real quick and give a shout out to Float, the sponsor of the Formula EVM championships, and tell you a little bit about what they have going on. And then give a quick recap on the project in question. From there, I'm going to talk a little bit about some new positions I took, particularly with my Team Ethereum portfolio, and then do a little check-in on how some of my other positions are doing. I'll touch on something I'm looking at in the Phantom space that I may end up pulling the trigger on here over the weekend or early next week for my Team Phantom portfolio. And then I think I'll end it off with an airdrop that just launched. I believe it was today, maybe it may have been yesterday, that I've been trying to check out all day, but they've had so much traffic to their website that it's been down most of the day. But I just got it pulled up, and I have not yet seen what my airdrop is, so I thought it'd be fun to check that out together. So let me go ahead and dive right into the content, as every single streamer ever said. All right. So starting with this little shout out for Float. Float is a free speech social network, and they are releasing a really huge update in the next couple of months. They're coming out of beta and going into their V1. As part of that, there's all sorts of new Web3 features being built in. Not all of them are going to be available right away, but they will be rolled out incrementally over the following months. And to both commemorate the launch of Float V1, coming out of beta, and also as a pretty smart way of distributing their coming Float tokens, they are releasing the Plank Owner NFT collection. Now, I've spoke about this in my previous podcast, or live stream, I should say, and have a little bit more of a in-depth overview there, so I'll just give you a quick rundown of what it is. So the plank owner concept is when a ship is commissioned, the initial crew mates, they are sort of designated as the plank owners and are usually gifted a certificate that shows that they were part of the crew that, brought that ship into service. And fitting with the Float brand, I'm working with them to help release this series of NFTs, which will offer an airdrop of float tokens to everybody who holds one of these plank owner NFTs at the time of airdrop. That's the way that they're going to be introducing their token to their community. But it's way more than just a mechanism for distributing tokens. There's a variety of perks that the owners will have access to. Some of them consumable, meaning they can use them once and then they're done. And some of them are going to come with a lifetime of the NFTs. And let me actually just go ahead and pull up article. Pull up an article to quickly give you a rundown of what that includes. So coming in here to float.biz. Oh yes, by the way, Float just released their new logo for 2022 and the launch of the new platform, which I think looks pretty damn sexy. Also released a new status page, so you can see the state of the site and the app at any given point in time. But what we're looking for here is the let's see, I think it was in this guy here that announces it. Got the placeholder NFT there. So here's the quick rundown. I'll give you the overall perks and then the tier specific perks. So every float plank owner will receive float tokens via an airdrop, as I mentioned. They'll be whitelisted for their upcoming float avatar NFT sale, which I think is going to be pretty big. They will have their plank holder or the plank owner NFT badge or displayed as a badge on their profile on Float and also in the upcoming metaverse project that they're incubating called Project Mirage. They'll have first access to verified Float profiles, be able to boost their posts. So when you, let's say, like you would on Facebook, you boost a post to get more visibility. By holding this NFT in your wallet, it'll actually multiply the amount of eyeballs that post goes out to. There'll be invitations to some private groups on Float's Telegram and Discord, and in the coming groups feature on the V1 version of Float app. There's beta access to new features, so the plank owners are going to be like our beta testing army that get to try out new features first. Exclusive invites to IRL events like the upcoming Float Fest. Discount on premium Float merchandise. Float advertiser credits. This is a valuable one of those that I mentioned is a consumable perk where you use it once and then it's gone. And then there are varying degrees of Float memberships or Float Plus memberships with the added features that will come along with it. And of course, bragging rights for, showing off that you're one of the OG Float members. Now I'm going to go in and show you guys a little bit about the tier specific. If I can see it, it's got to be here somewhere. Come on, use your eyeballs. Site says, been so many new blog posts since I've last checked. That's the one. All right. real quick check out and see if we've got any viewers that have joined us. Still no, and still okay. All right, so as I mentioned, each tier of Plank NFT also comes with tier-specific perks. So the lowest tier at $100 receives, on top of everything I just mentioned, Float Plus membership for 3 months. Chief receives Float Plus membership for 6 months and a level 1 post-boosting multiplier. Officer receives Float Plus membership for 9 months and a level 2 post-boosting multiplier and an airdrop of physical merch. Captain level receives 12 months Float Plus membership, level 3 post-boosting multiplier, a somewhat larger merch airdrop, and 1 free Flatoshi NFT avatar, which in and of itself is going to be a pretty valuable thing based off of what I understand of the project. Also comes with a $500 ad credit. Second to last tier is Pirate at with a 24-month Float Plus membership, level 4 post-boosting multiplier, a, again, larger merch airdrop, 2 free Flatoshi NFT avatars, and a $1,000 ad credit. And then the Holy of Holies, the whale level of Plank NFT, you get a lifetime membership for as long as you hold the NFT, and that will be transferable to anybody who should purchase it in the future on the secondary markets. A level 10 post-boosting multiplier, a very robust merch airdrop, and 5 free Flatoshi NFT avatars. And then, of course, a $2,500 ad credit. So lots of cool things in the works. Also mentioned that they have recently added a free unstoppable blockchain domain for every holder. And from what I understand, there will be continuing perks and privileges that will be added to this collection over time. And that is for the lifetime of the platform. As far as I understand it, the perks will grow, and the intention being to make these a valuable asset for holders and for Float users as long as Float is around. So speaking of Float, come on over here and follow me, Rex Racer. I've only got 14 followers, which I believe is actually more than what I've got on Twitter at the moment. But, new account, what you going to do? So yeah, come follow me on float.app, Rex Racer, and I'll be providing a bunch of information and .app, Rex Racer.
Looks like I'm hearing myself also.
And I'll be unmuted. I was following my own live stream over on Float, and looks like the page refreshed and I was hearing myself. All right, where was I? So I'll be providing lots of updates on the Formula EVM competition that's launching soon. And same thing over on Twitter. Come follow me on Twitter. Oh, hey, look at that. 18 followers on Twitter. 14 followers on Float. Man, I'm almost famous. So come follow me on Twitter. A lot of the stuff that you'll see on Float, I'll be posting here too. Keep an eye on both of those pretty regularly. You also have to excuse me. I'm constantly trying to get into whitelists for different NFT projects because I have a problem, and just got to do what you got to do to get on these damn whitelists. So, all right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the Formula EVM Worldwide Web3 Championships. And real quick, as a matter of fact, I want to show you the account now that we have here for Formula EVM on Twitter. So please give this a follow as well. This will be where a lot of the most important information is dropped first, and then I'll be sharing additional insights on my Twitter account. So yeah, check it out. And as you see here, formulaevm.dao. And what we're looking at with this project is it is a gamified DAO experience. It's really pretty genius, if I do say so myself. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that for those that get involved and participate and win, it could be a huge windfall at the end of the season. So I'm looking forward to having this community come together. It's just going to be so much fun. And we all need a little fun in our lives. So, keep an eye out on this project. I think it's going to be, it's going to be what it's going to be. But for me, at least, it's going to be a lot of fun. To find out more information, I'll be posting this. I've got here the home base, so to speak, of the Formula EVM information, and DAO is actually going to be living on mirror.xyz. This is a really cool Web3 application for posting blogs, curating a blog, and they have a ton of amazing additional features. They've got primarily what I'm going to be using for this project is DAO features. So I'll be announcing how that's going to work here probably early next week, but I'll share the link to it to the Mirror app, and like pretty much everything that I'm trying to do with this project, I'm trying to explore what Web3 has to offer. It's just now getting to the point where there's nearly anything that you're looking for, any type of application or service, you can find a Web3 version of it. So my objective is to only use Web3 applications for this entire thing. So here for the blog, and then coming soon, the DAO for Formula EVM, where the DAO participants are going to be able to provide input and proposals for establishing the rule book, the formula for the initial season, for the inaugural season of Formula EVM. There'll be a ton of other really cool perks for the participants of the DAO. But what the Formula EVM project is, as I mentioned before, it's a gamified DAO experience. So the concept being sort of playing off of the, the sportsmanship and the team camaraderie and the community that you see with Formula One, which me and my family are huge super fans of. We're taking this idea and applying it to a competition where the participants can self-select which L1 of the five participating L1s that will be involved, which L1 they think is going to outperform. And it's not just a matter of placing your bet on, which one's going to have the most growth, which L1 platform token, like I mentioned before, Phantom, is going to, make the most gains over the course of the year. It's not just going to be, which one has the most wallets that's added to it. Those things will be factored in, but it's much more interactive than that. And the really fun and engaging side of it is that each team is going to have their own DAO. To get into that DAO, you need to have a car in the race, meaning you'll be purchasing one of only 2,000 NFTs that will, on each chain, I should say, that will be your car to enter the race. That gives you access to the community, that gives you access to voting rights, and that gives you access, if you are on the winning team at the end of the season, the your share of the prize pool. So I'm not going to go into a ton of detail in it right now. Go ahead and check out this article, which I will share in the show notes below when the live stream is over, and also on social media. So that's a quick rundown of what's going on with Formula EVM. In my last live stream, I had, before that, I just want to also show you the, speaking about unstoppable domains earlier. So here's my formulaevm.dao website that I just put up. So this is going to sort of be used to direct people to all the pertinent things. Right now, I just have a link to the Mirror, hey, look, typo, nice, to the Mirror account. And then I'll have a list of all of the announcements and where you can follow me. So this, too, is a Web3 based website that is built using unstoppable domains and is hosted on IPFS. So it's fully decentralized. And going back real quick to Mirror, theirs is actually hosted on Arweave. So, really digging deep into the Web3 experience and trying to show you all the cool things that you can do with that. So now, the next thing I want to share is one of the new positions I've taken on my Team Ethereum portfolio. And when I say Team Ethereum, what I mean is that as I mentioned before, there's the 5 different teams, which I have listed right here, that we will be assembling. Team Ethereum, Team Polygon, Team Phantom, Team Binance Smart Chain, and Team Kronos. But the season is currently in preseason. We have not yet started the Grand Prix. So for the preseason, what I'm doing is what I'm calling a sprint race, and I'm putting up my own money to show you how this is going to work. And just really want to get the idea across. So in my last video, I had gone over one of the allocations I had done for my Team Ethereum play, which was a board bunny that I picked up for 0.42 ETH. And they went on a wild ride, let me tell you, almost hit 2 ETH. I did a video where I did a reveal of my board bunny, which I can show you in just a second. Went up to almost 2 ETH, has since come back down to about 1 ETH. So overall, doing pretty well, more than doubled my initial investment on that. But there was recently another project that came across my radar that I thought was pretty cool, so I decided to jump into it. And that is Looks Rare. So let me just go back out here real quick to their website. And this is a new NFT marketplace that is has a whole built-in reward structure. I think, based off of what I've read and looked into, looks pretty sweet. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about it being a potential OpenSea killer. And I think that there's a lot of room for competition in this space. But the thing that caught my eye, other than their airdrop, which was not too shabby, is their reward system. So I took, look at this. Their single staking of the Looks token is currently at 1,000% APR. That's pretty amazing. If you stake their LP tokens, it's currently at 611. Oh, and I should also mention real quick too that this APR is a combination of Looks token and wrapped ETH that you're earning. That's pretty incredible. And I'll tell you my game plan with this here in just a second. So what I did is I took 1 ETH and I added to the liquidity pool. So it got me roughly, I want to say 555 Lux tokens to 0.49 ish ETH. And this has been staked for 3 days. You go into Uniswap, you provide liquidity, you get the LP tokens, then you come in here and you stake your tokens. So I'm staking 13.358 LP tokens. And in the, I want to say 3 days that I've been doing this, I have earned 66 and some change Lux tokens. At the current rate, let's take a look over here. Lux tokens are at 347. Not too bad. I actually got mine at $2.86. And I've been earning, I think, about an average of 25 tokens a day. So as you can see here, if I go in on DBank and I take a look at my earnings, let's make sure that's up to date. 66, 65, it's close enough. So in almost 3 days, I've earned $226 in Lux tokens. Would actually be more if it was up at its all-time high of, I want to say, about $4.80 some cents. We'll see how it does over time. I think it could do pretty well. But the plan here is then to, once this hits a certain amount where it justifies the gas fees, which inevitably are going to be relatively high on Ethereum, I'm going to collect these Lux tokens, and then I'm going to go over here and drop them into the Lux staking and earn an additional, hopefully, 1,000% APR on it in both Lux and wrapped ETH. When I had initially done this, the Lux staking was lower. I want to say it was around 500, and then the LP staking was around 700. I saw it get as high as 900 at one point. So to me, it made more sense to do this, earn a higher APR, take what I earn, and then go and drop it in here. So I will be tracking that over time. But definitely worth a look, pun intended. If you are curious of whether you're eligible for the airdrop, from what I understand, you have to have transacted more than 3 ETH on OpenSea, and if you meet that criteria, then you can go in here, connect your wallet, and see if you've got an airdrop. There's also another airdrop that I'm going to be showing here in just a little bit, but before we move on, I wanted to also show you, so this is going to be what I'm going to use to break down the how each team is doing. I've used a lot of different sort of DeFi dashboards. I've used Zerion, I've used Zapper, the other ones aren't coming to mind, but none of them had support for all the various chains, and I felt like their information wasn't as good, wasn't as clear. But I really like what DBank is doing. So, this is going to be what I'm going to use to break down the. I'm going to go ahead and just close my float stream since nobody's watching it anyway and don't need to monitor it. So I started with some assets already associated with this account. I'll probably end up separating them out so that we're only looking at what's involved in my sprint race portfolio in a future video. But for now, we'll just have to kind of separate some of those out. So as I mentioned before, I had invested 1 ETH into this Lux staking pool. And so far, it is outperforming ETH at $3,300. I am now sitting at a little over $4,000 in 3 days, so not a bad little return. Then coming over here to Polygon, Polygon's been performing pretty well itself, I should say Matic token. I have jumped into Shisha Finance. I'm staking some sand through Sandbox, doing a little bit of yield farming on QuickSwap, although I'm not getting a great yield on this as I would like. I'm also in ClimateDAO, but this isn't part of the project, so we got to take this $1,000 out of my out of this here. But I'm sitting at about $7,400 of my initial investment of 2 ETH. But looking at Mshisha, it's actually doing pretty damn well too. I've earned in less than a week $174 in Mshisha. I could see this token also doing really well if it follows suit with the Ethereum and BSC based version of Shisha, this Mshisha being the Matic Shisha. And then when they get more of their partner projects online for let me go over here and switch to Polygon Network. When Shisha gets more partners online for their Polygon VC fund, I'll start earning more tokens from their supported projects. Right now I'm just earning some from this project DeFi 11. So far I've earned 16.8 tokens, not life-changing, but I'll take every little token I can get. I'm going to be very interested to see how Shisha does moving forward. I think there's some big things for it, and particularly if you're either on Binance Smart Chain or Polygon, these could be a pretty valuable, DeFi type system to use. Let's see. I think I've got a meeting I got to jump into here, so I'm going to try and power through real quick. I think that's about it. I wanted to possibly go over some investment strategies I was thinking for my Team Phantom portfolio, but I think I'll save that for another video. Right now, I'm going to end this video off by coming over here to fees.wtf and check out their airdrop. Got to switch back over to the Ethereum mainnet. Please stand by. So they are a tool that I've used in the past. It's pretty handy. That gives you an idea of how much you spent on gas, basically transaction fees. Also shows how much you've wasted on failed transactions, which you're going to see here is probably going to be pretty painful. So I'm going to connect it. No, not as bad as I thought. So in this account that I'm currently connected to, I've spent 2 ETH on gas, so over $7,000. And then 17 of my transactions have failed, costing me a little over a quarter ETH. Actually, not as bad as I thought for this particular wallet. But what I'm really interested to see is the airdrop claim. So let's see. I have earned 1,300 WTF. So let's go over back to CoinMarketCap, pull up WTF, do a little quick math, and see what this airdrop's worth. So looking at around 10 cents or so. So pull up my thing here. We've got, what did I say? It was 1308 at 10 cents. I could probably do this math in my head, but it's Friday, so I don't want to use my brain. Times 10 cents. It's a whopping $130. It may not even be worth the gas fee to claim this, to be honest. So I may have to just wait until until the guide just drops and I catch it at a trough and make it worth my while. But they do have the ability to stake and the ability to, I guess, stake LP tokens as well, kind of like what I showed with looks and also with Shisha. So there may be some interesting DeFi plays here. So yeah, it's looking like 2,000 APR on their LP staking, 714 on their single token staking. And so might be worth doing some research, seeing if you got an airdrop, seeing if the project looks promising, and getting some WTF yourself, staking it and seeing how it does. But I think that's going to do it for today. Not bad. I think I've only been going for 45 minutes or so here. Let's see. Well, looks like somebody wrote something in some language that I have no idea what it is. Vum no go, but at least I have a viewer. Amazing. Getting there. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. I'll be dropping some other non-live videos later this week, or I should say next week, because it's Friday. Maybe something over the weekend. We'll see. And then go and check out my Float and Twitter accounts, which I will link, and then you can find all of the cool stuff that I've been talking about. I'll share there. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. I think we'll leave it there. Oh, I can't forget. If you enjoyed this, if you think that my show is going to get better, which I'm sure it will with time, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe, leaving a comment. Let me know how what you think I could do better, how I can present information better. Let me know if you have any questions about the Formula EVM DAO project that I was talking about earlier. Looking forward to, getting to know all you and building an audience, building a community around this awesome project. So yeah, hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.